This is a 34-year-old Anthony Joshua. This is a terrifying human being. Terrifying. So not just 6'6", but 6'6", and knows how to use every fucking inch of it.
Nobody expected this commentary to ignite such a meltdown across the fight world, but Joe Rogan's breakdown of Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua did exactly that, and not for the reasons anyone predicted. What he highlights is so unexpected that you'll genuinely question how everyone else overlooked it.
Do you want that, Smoke?
Yeah, I just think it's all about the promotion or whatever. That fight's not competitive at all.
Well, it's a dangerous fight.
Yeah.
Because Joshua's going to try to make an example out.
The fight game has produced some wild ideas. Celebrity matches, crossover thrillers, spectacles nobody requested yet everyone watched. But nothing has stretched logic, disbelief, and pure chaos the way Jake Paul challenging Anthony Joshua has. And the moment Rogan sat down to analyze it, the entire narrative shifted. What seemed like another social media-driven super fight suddenly became the most dangerous gamble Jake Paul has ever attempted.
What do you think about Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua?
Boy. Well, realistically.
When Rogan first responded to the matchup, he didn't laugh or explode. He simply paused, that quiet, stunned pause where the mind tries to process something objectively insane. Then he said it, "This isn't just a big fight, it's one of the craziest propositions of all time." And when Rogan calls something crazy in the fight world, you know the mountain ahead is basically vertical.
It's one of the craziest propositions of all time. You take a guy who just had a boxing match that looks like a sparring match with a 58-year-old Mike Tyson.
Rogan doesn't sugarcoat a thing. Jake Paul is coming off a fight with a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. A matchup many felt looked more like controlled sparring than a real war. Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua has been fighting in the deepest, deadliest waters the heavyweight division offers. The contrast isn't just huge, it's absurd. Jake went from light sparring with a nearly 60-year-old legend to calling out a man built like a mythical final boss.
And then you're gonna fight one of the absolute scariest knockout artists in the heavyweight division.
To drive it home, Rogan pulls up Joshua's fight with Francis Ngannou, a performance that reminded everyone why he was once the most feared heavyweight alive. Rogan explains that if you want to understand the danger Jake is walking into, watch how Joshua treats opponents who simply aren't on his level. Because when Joshua senses an advantage, he takes over, and things get ugly fast.
Maybe we should watch the Francis Ngannou fight, so you could see. Let's watch that real quick, just so you can see what Anthony Joshua is capable if he's fighting someone that's not in his league.
Usyk beat Joshua twice. Andy Ruiz shocked the world and dropped him. But Joshua returned from every one of those moments with the resilience only found in fighters who refuse to break. Rogan reminds everyone, Usyk and Ruiz are elite, generational heavyweights. They're not influencers. They're not retired athletes. They're not dabbling in boxing. And Joshua survived both.
Usyk beat him, and he beat him twice, and Andy Ruiz caught him in the first fight and dropped him and stopped him. It was spectacular. Andy Ruiz is super fucking talented. Usyk is perhaps the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time.
Then Rogan pulls up the clip, Joshua dropping Ngannou 2 minutes into the first round. One perfectly timed right hand, and a man with one of the toughest chins in combat sports collapses like a mountain falling inward.
Maybe one of the greatest of all time in any weight class, Usyk. You know, and Usyk beat him, and he beat him twice. But Francis Ngannou is coming off of this fight with, like, go a little bit before that so we can see this happen. Watch this.
Highlights, we can't watch the whole fight.
So he drops him with a right hand early, and this is like 2 minutes into the first round. And Francis gets up, he survives.
Joshua follows with a combination so clean and mechanically perfect that Rogan can't help but admire it. He calls Joshua enormous, an Olympic gold medalist with vicious knockout power and a level of experience Jake Paul has never even been grazed by. Rogan isn't hyping anything, he's stating cold, heavyweight facts.
And then Joshua, check out this combination he hits him with. I mean, dude, the speed that he hits him with this, he's so dangerous, man. It's like you're dealing with a guy who's an Olympic gold medalist, and he's enormous, and he's got vicious knockout power, and he's got immense amount of experience at world-class levels.
Then he breaks down the knockout shot, a right hand so sharp Rogan calls it a full-force blow to the temple. Ngannou gets up because he's a monster, but he's clearly gone. The lights are on, but no one's home. Joshua essentially folded him in half. And this is the man Jake Paul wants to fight.
Usyk twice. Fought Andy Ruiz twice.
Oh, man.
Bro, the timing in that right hand, just spectacular.
That's a stepping in as well.
Over the top. I mean, that was a full force shot to the temple. I mean, he's Fucksville right now. So they wipe off his gloves, but you look at him like he's really feeling it right now.
Rogan laughs not because it's funny, but because it's surreal. He says he'll watch. Of course everyone will. Curiosity beats logic every time. But the idea that Jake Paul would willingly step into a ring with a man who hits like a wrecking ball and moves like a middleweight, that's what blows Rogan's mind.
I'm definitely going to watch. So you got me there. And if you want to show you're legit by taking on one of the scariest fucking heavyweights alive.
Can you get the tail of the tape of Paul and Joshua?
I was gonna say they got him to weigh a grade of 245. That's only like 7 pounds less.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah,
And there's some sort of a rehydration clause. Listen, kids, it ain't going to matter. You know, there's not a chance that Anthony Joshua is not going to just lose the weight beforehand. He's not going to come in drained. What he's going to do is just do extra cardio, and that's just going to make him more dangerous. He's going to be terrified.
Rogan makes the core problem crystal clear. Jake Paul has never fought anyone remotely close to this level.
He's constantly moving, and then punches are coming, and he loops punches around your guard, and he's constantly shifting his feet, and you think he's going to be there, and he's over here, and it's like this overload of thinking. It's not a casual, relaxed fight where you can kind of move around and get your groove, and he's going to stay on the outside, and you're going to... No, it's just constant. He survived that guy twice. He survived, in my opinion, the most skillful heavyweight of all time.
When Tyson versus Jake Paul comes up, Rogan notes the fight looked like sparring and that both men probably held back. Maybe intentionally, maybe out of respect. He doesn't accuse anyone of fixing anything, but he makes it clear, it wasn't the war fans expected. And that's exactly why Joshua won't hold back. He can't. His entire heavyweight legacy depends on not looking vulnerable for even a second.
Daniel Dubois is a tank, and he took out Joshua, but that guy's fucking terrifying. You're staring in front of that guy, but Usyk didn't stand in front of him. Usyk moved all over the place. Joshua's, and he's going to have a lot to prove. He's going to be very angry.
Do you think they'll let everybody take the brakes off? Because there's all rumors about Tyson versus Jake, that both of them were sort of pulling punches and not fully letting it go.
I think that's a different deal, you know.
Do you think there was something probably just below the table?
I do not know. I do not know if it was said. I do not know if it was understood. I do not know.
In your professional opinion, based on what you saw, do you think that the people were holding?
Rogan says it bluntly. If Joshua takes it easy and loses, he destroys every massive payday waiting for him. The Saudis would gladly put $200 million behind Joshua versus Fury, but not if Jake Paul, a man with fewer than 10 pro fights, beats him. That's why Rogan flatly rejects the idea that Joshua will play nice. The risk is too big. The fallout would be catastrophic.
Some have also mentioned Jake Paul's cryptic $267 million tweet, which may have fueled rumors. Listen, it really depends on who's setting it up. Netflix doesn't have to tell you how much they're paying, but the thing about Anthony Joshua, if he loses this, so let's say he's only getting the 92 million, which I bet he's getting more. Let's say he's getting 92 million. If he loses this fight, he misses out on that Saudi money, because they could set up a Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua fight, and each one of them gets $200 million. You could do a fight like that. The Saudis can do a fight like that. They can do a fight. They have enough resources to throw at boxing where they could change the entire landscape of boxing.
That's why Rogan is convinced Joshua will try to crush Jake Paul immediately. No mercy. No hesitation. No friendliness. A 34-year-old heavyweight in his prime with Olympic pedigree is not going to let an influencer steal a heroic moment on the biggest stage of his career. This isn't personal. It's business, and boxing is ruthless business.
To Jake Paul, and anything other than that, from a 34-year-old Anthony Joshua, will make us all think it's a fixed fight. Whether or not Joshua can do it, whether or not, Jake Paul shocks the world and shows us that he really does know how to box really well and moves really good and uses his jab and blows us all away with a strategy and a lot of footwork and movement, and brings Usyk into his camp, or Lomachenko's dad, even better, who's the guy who trained Usyk. He trained Usyk as well. Lomachenko's father. That's why they both are the best moving fighters in this generation, by far. By far. They're in a group of...
By now, Rogan circles back to the truth. I don't want to be Jake Paul. Not against a 6 feet 6 inches, 250-pound, nuclear-powered heavyweight who specializes in destroying elite athletes. Not influencers. And yet, ironically, Rogan admits this is Jake's biggest chance to prove he belongs. Getting knocked out by Joshua might actually elevate his reputation. Surviving even a round could be career-defining.
The greatest of all time, like Willie Pep and Pernell Whitaker. There's like a group of like defensive wizards that exist today they're in that group. And two of them that exist in that group are trained by the same guy, Lomachenko and Usyk.
I don't want to be Jake Paul. That's what I
Yeah,
know.
fuck
I know
that.
I do not want to be.
But what better way to show the world you're legit? Go get knocked out by Olympic gold medalist, former world heavyweight champion, 6'6", 250 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Show
wonderful.
the world you're in it to win it.
You're definitely not fucking about.
Ultimately, Rogan's entire breakdown leaves us staring at a fight that shouldn't make sense, yet somehow defines the era we're living in. He doesn't frame Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua as a joke, a circus, or even a simple mismatch. He frames it as a warning, a reminder that boxing still carries real consequences no matter how much celebrity culture tries to rewrite the rules. If Jake steps into that ring, he won't only be challenging Joshua, he'll be challenging the entire history of heavyweight boxing. But that's exactly why no one can look away. It's ambition versus reality. Reckless courage against refined, world-class power. And whether you love Jake, hate him, or just enjoy the chaos around him, we're all watching for the same reason. There's something mesmerizing about two worlds colliding with no script and no guarantees. As Rogan says, this fight isn't just a matchup. It's a moment, one that could reshape boxing forever, for better or for worse.